There's no one in the front row again. Oh, go Vest. All right, now I can spit.
Not in my mind.
There's a show going on down there. That's it? People up the back not sitting? Okay. Really? No one in the front seat? Front row, okay. No, it's all right. No, I'm just... No. No, I'm not. I'm only going to be up here for a second. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah. All right, well, thank you. I feel more comfortable now. That's really good. All right. So, welcome everybody to Open Mic Night number 119. We're getting delicately close to 200. It's getting up there. It's just creeping or whatever. Thanks for coming out on this kind of kind of Wednesday night. It's kind of winter's kicked in. So, it's mild, but where did those sunny days go? Anyway, so we have not a huge amount of readers tonight, so we'll still stick to 4 minutes. And we have 4 lucky contestants who have put their name in for the Spin It and Wing It, which we will give another month go to see how it goes. So, sit back, enjoy. Don't forget at the end, there's heaps of food. I don't want to eat it tomorrow, so please grab it before you leave. And we shall start off, and Les will start the readings. Thank you.
Hey everybody, I'm Les. Most of you will know me. So, if you've got your phone on anything but silent, please turn it to silent. If you want to check into here, please check into here. The names that you got down the list, we're not going to read them out in that order. We do mix it up because there might have been a few people who came in a row who are going to do poetry or whatever, so we do mix it to get a different flavour. Now, so Kev said 4 minutes. So 3 minutes 30, you will hear. That means you got 30 seconds left. And at 4 minutes, you will hear. And that means your time's up. Now, you don't have to stop mid-sentence, mid-word. Feel free to finish the sentence, the paragraph, but don't feel that you can go on and read another page or 2 or 3, because at 4 minutes 30, this will happen. Louder, Hyun. And at 4 minutes 45, so we had a big meeting about this, I will just come back up here and start emceeing again. So if you're still here when I get here, you can see the size of me. I will probably just push you off. And that will be my contribution to entertainment tonight. So, where do we start? You know what, Steve? You're the winner. What?
Winner of what? Goes up first.
So I'm going to actually let Steve announce some of the stuff he's done himself. So Steve, comic, novelist, intellectual now. Civil engineer, even though he's never that courteous. I'm just filling time until you actually get up and take my spot. Everyone, please welcome Steve.
Okay, well, my big news and what Les was alluding to is that last night I was on the hot seat. Yay! And I actually won something. I did win $1 million. I didn't win $10,000. I actually won $50,000. So that was very exciting. Yes. So you can look it up on Channel 10. It's on the Channel 10 website. You want to see. So that was quite fun. So yes, there's money. Money well needed. Yes, much more money than I made writing books. Okay, so being a writing books, we're going to read a bit from my sequel novel. And this is the story of the family. This is back to the family. The families had to move into the Archbishop's house for security reasons now that their dad's the Pope. And this is the situation they're dealing with in living with the Cardinal, who lives in the Archbishop's house. Anyway, whilst Peter was doing his papal tour of Ireland, Mary was doing her best to recreate a normal life for her children in abnormal circumstances. Taking over the Archbishop's house in Dublin made perfect sense from a security standpoint, but it was not home. Cardinal Doherty had made things easier by insisting to remain in what, until a couple of months ago, was entirely his own home. Mary and the children's rooms were on the same floor as Cardinal Doherty's, but thankfully in another wing of the building. A separate stairwell adjacent to the bedrooms led down to a conventional kitchen. The kitchen was also used by Cardinal Doherty's housekeeper, Mrs. Murphy, who welcomed the presence of a family in the house. It was such a welcome diversion from servicing the needs of the cantankerous cardinal. Although Mary had made it clear that she would manage the domestic needs of her and her children, Mrs. Murphy couldn't help but baking treats for the children to enjoy and quickly endeared herself to the family. Cardinal Doherty, on the other hand, was perplexed as to why his usual treacle cake for afternoon tea was being replaced by gingerbread men decorated with buttons and bow ties. Children being children, they couldn't help themselves to explore the house to its full extent. Unfortunately, this led to awkward encounters with Cardinal Doherty. Following advice from Mrs. Murphy, Mary soon established boundaries for the children to avoid such events. But the large garden surrounding the house was common ground. And on one unusual sunny Dublin spring morning, the children were playing outside, while Cardinal Doherty was sitting on a bench under a tree reading a book. 2-year-old Susie was in the garden with her siblings, carrying her favourite book. On spotting the Cardinal sitting alone, she wandered up and sat beside him, handed him the picture book, and prompted him to read it to her. Cardinal Doherty was slightly put out by this rare encounter with a little person, but nevertheless obliged. A few moments later, Mary noticed that she had lost sight of her youngest child. She frantically scanned the garden. She saw Lauren playing a game of tag with the young brothers. She saw Michael and Bridie lying on the grass engaged with their electronic devices. Then she saw Cardinal Doherty sitting on a bench under a tree. She did a double take and was surprised to see little Susie sitting next to him. Mary promptly rushed over to where they were sitting to find the Cardinal patiently reading through the book for Susie. "I'm sorry, Your Eminence," Mary exclaimed. "I hope she hasn't been a bother to you." "You should take better care of your children," Doherty grumpily replied. "I thought I had her in my sight," Mary explained, "but she snuck away from me." Then she motioned to pick up Susie and said, "You shouldn't run off like that, little miss." Cardinal Doherty then interrupted. "No, you can't take her away now. I haven't finished reading the story yet."
Steve, I've had comments about your t-shirts. Where do you get your t-shirts from?
Me online.
Oh, well, that answers everything.
You can type in t-shirt and whatever saying you want, then you can find it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I need one.
Cool.
And then when you go to the website, then there's a lot of examples. So.
I have to commend you, Steve. You're constantly putting yourself out there. You stand up. You're novelist now, the hot seat. So, yeah, totally commend you for taking these challenges and constantly. I mean, great, you won the other night, but you go for it for the experience. Well done. We should look to you as an example. I'll give Steve a round of applause. Now give me a t-shirt. Michelle, you have some poetry. Everyone please welcome Michelle Bird.
Well, just some updates. I'm launching my uncle's book, The Last of the Bush Balladists, on Anzac Day at Ivanhoe. If you're interested in attending, you're most welcome to come. Also, update on the movie. Got a hot update. We have funding and we're going, it's script. So we're going to script. So we're in the first draft apparently. And hopefully it'll be finished, finalised by August. And tonight I've got a very special thing, which is unusual because I don't think it's been done before. But I've actually got my uncle, Edward Harrington, reciting one of his poems, a recording that he made in the 11th of January 1955. And probably the majority of you weren't here. So there you go. Some of us, yeah, well. So I've got a recording and hopefully you'll be able to hear him. And he's reading Casey's Beer. It goes for about 3 minutes, 3:09.
It happened many years ago in Dan McGee's hotel. A crowd was gathered round the bar. I knew the fellows well. McGee had something up his sleeve. He had the sergeant's ear. The sergeant liked to pot himself and swore way down his beer. Tim Casey dropped along one night. A thirsty soul was Tim. And Dan McGee took down a pot and filled it to the brim. A pot of lovely bitter ale foamed capped and amber clear. Tim placed it gently on the bar, for Casey loved his beer. His cherrywood was in his hand, his bowl was like a jug. He had to look around the bar and borrowed someone's plug. It was a hubby habit Casey had. The weed was far too dear. He couldn't waste his cash on that, he wanted it for beer. What happened next, I can't explain. I really hate to tell. The like was never seen before in Dan McGee's hotel. It might have been an accident. A stranger standing there. A chimpanzee in human form knocked over Casey's beer. A pot plunked down upon the floor. It sounded like a knell. And on the crowd round the bar, an awful silence fell. The swagman in the corner swooned. A stranger shook with fear, but never stayed to pay the price for spilling Casey's beer. The ale went trickling down the bar. Casey stood like stone, till somewhere from his chip there came a dreadful muffled moan. A sound that came from Casey's throat I never hoped to hear. I chipped the bottles on the shelf. They spilt me pint of beer. The look of pain on Casey's face, it pierces to the core, as with a last despairing moan. He sank upon the floor. We stayed to hear his last faint words. We knew the end was near. Closed one eye and gave a sigh. He spilt me pot up there. A graveyard lies across the road, a stone throw from the pub. And poor Tim Casey laid asleep beneath a big green shrub. And on that stone above his head you'll read in letters clear, here lies Tim Casey, R.I.P. A stranger spilt his beer.
Well, would you be willing to read us something?
Well, well, there you go. So he's got, I've got the Bush Rangers, I might play that next, and Insomnia, which goes a little bit longer, but my son, sorry?
How did you get it? Where did you get it?
Someone gave me the interview, and then I had to clean it up because Uncle had a lot of emphysema and issues, illness from fighting in the war, and so you can hear him coughing, but I sent it to my son and said, because he's a videographer and he plays with all this stuff, and I said, can you clean these up for me? And he said, yeah, I will. So I got 3 of them, so I'm very blessed. Yeah.
Leave those few coughs there, please.
Yeah, no, the coughs are there, but it's far worse than the original is really bad. So the guy that sent it to me, the interview, I sent him the 3. He's a Edward Harrington fan, and I sent them to him yesterday, and he just loved them. So, yeah. So thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. And how long has this been going, Kev? 13 years, open mic night?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been moved more by poetry, by someone spilling his beer. It's horrible. It's just horrible. It is. It's you know, talk about these things like poverty and corruption, but spilling beer, Jesus Christ. Petra, why aren't you on this list?
I'm too scared.
Why?
Because
Simone did it, and she's going to come up again.
I'll come up if you want me to.
I totally want you to come up right now, then. How about you, Shane? You've come all the way from Gisborne. Are you going to come up at some point and read?
Happy to do so, but later to explain why I'm here and without the camera being on.
Okay. Ooh. CIA operative? You're definitely not an Albanese operative because you speak English. All right, everyone please welcome Petra Costa.
Hello everyone. I've been with Busybird for a while now. I'll just introduce myself, Petra Costa. I'm a young adult urban fantasy writer, and I'm very proud to say that with my 4th book that will be coming out soon, I will have put 500,000 words through Busybird Publishing, which is very exciting. So what I thought I would read, which I was not going to do, is the prologue for book 1, Legend of the Sleeping Warriors. It was written that there was a time when magic was so powerful it could shake the very earth. There were those, the humans from the first realm and the dwellers of the second, who tapped into the source and drank deeply of its power. Awash in unimagined magic, they spared little thought for the delicate balance that was and always will be required to maintain life as they knew it. Evil influences and seekers of power tipped the balance towards anarchy and chaos. In desperation, the source, working through those with the skill to wield the power, created a band of 14 warriors and placed them on magical steeds. From the blood of the magic wielders, mixed with the earth that they were forever sworn to protect, the bonded warriors were born. To fight and defend, to awake and obey, whenever the land had need. And when the balance had been restored, the bonded would return to sleep, forever listening for the call that heralded the return to arms. Through time they fought, for whenever evil was vanquished and they were allowed a period of rest, too soon another summons would come. Over the time, the power calling dimmed, and the fight to restore balance took more of a toll, until the last in a string of battles was fought, and one of the shining warriors was slain. And the earth did shake, not because of the power unleashed, but for the son who had been lost. The legend states that the band sleeps, waiting for the day that they will be called upon again. 13 warriors and their bonded steeds, and one horse weeping the loss of her rider, half of what she had once been.
So how was that? That was not as harrowing as you thought it was going to be?
It was, it really, really was.
But you read beautifully. Everyone agree that she read beautifully? And you say you didn't come here to read, yet you had it prepared. So subconscious obviously was saying, I'm going to go up. Like my next reader, Abby. Abby's a former intern. She's a very talented young writer, but she doesn't want to admit it to herself. So I guess I'll have to call someone else. Ruja, would you like to come up? You have poetry, which is borrowing bicycles, if I've read that correctly. Everyone please welcome Ruja.
Good evening. This really is the truth. Borrowing bicycles. Growing up, the only 2 cars in my neighborhood were for the sugar factory director and our local doctor. Even the humble bicycle was a personal transportation not available to everyone. Owning a bike was a rarity in my small Slavonian estate. If you had a bike, you were important and usually male. We didn't have phones. All our business was done personally, face to face. We walked everywhere, to the shops, to the pharmacy, to get a priest. Walking one foot in front of the other, step by step, over great distances was the only way for us. At the time, bicycle borrowing was common. For many, it was a necessary but painful shame. It wasn't easy. Some wouldn't lend their bikes, but you still had to ask. Those who lent their bikes and helped others in need earned great respect. My father had a bike. It was sacred to him and never once borrowed out. In time, my mama bought a bike of her own, a second-hand scuffed blue steel-wheeled steed, and it was gladly lent to anyone who asked. My mother's worn-out bike was used and appreciated by all. Everyone knew if you had a bike, you were important. My mother was important, but Mama didn't need a bicycle for me to know that. She was kind, selfless, and loving. She was my teacher, my hero, my mum. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruja. When your anthology's coming out, the ones you've placed in for a competition, they out?
One book has arrived and one is just out of print.
Out of print. So it must have done well.
Well, I don't want to be...
Immodest?
Well, I've got 14 books already from Croatia.
All right, cool.
They're all collections.
Yep.
Not all mine, but in every one of them is my work.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Found-
Maybe it's about time I thought I said to Crystal we should be thinking of
Having grandkids?
something in English.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're saying Crystal should do something in English?
I should.
Ah, okay.
Of course, I can't do anything without her.
Yeah. Well, she might be getting too big for us now. Sorry. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. But we'll get to that later. Jake, where are you?
Right here.
You have a short story, The Two Drunks on the Long Road.
Yes.
You're an Essendon supporter. Is this like personal experience?
Actually, it is a personal experience. I just...
After, not after, during an Essendon game.
What?
During an Essendon game.
No,
No.
not during this
Right.
game.
You can keep coming up. I'm just talking while I'm filling time while you're coming up.
This is pretty much something me and my cousin went through. I just embellished it into a fictional book.
We'll judge if it's embellished. Everyone, please welcome Jake.
Alrighty. The two drunks on a long road. A short story that begins like any other in an Australian coastal town, with two drunken men walking along a road that stretched far beyond their sight in the middle of the night. As they stumble on the road, they trying to reach home, sorry, and pass out comfortably on their beds. As they do, they speak to one another, complaining about the journey, along with a few trivial matters that any drunk man would speak about when they are shit-faced. Oi! When the bloody hell does this road end, mate? It's not my fault they made the road endless. Blame the council, but it's got to end somehow. I hope so, because I got to get home. Just as they turn to face the road, a pair of lights beaming right at them, and they barely dodge a car driving through at an alarming speed. One of the drunk men cursed them out. "Watch where you're going, you wanker!" The other drunk man joins in. "We're walking here, mate. Are you fucking drunk?" But the car was long gone, and the two drunks were spewing words at thin air. Once they finished their tirade, they turned back and continued their journey home. Though at this point the road still seems endless to them, and to pass the time, one of the drunken men starts spewing utter bullshit from his mouth. "Oi, have you ever heard of stainless wood?" The other drunk stops at his tracks, staring at his buddy with utter confusion. "Have you gone mental, mate?" The drunk man defends his comment. "Now hold on and I'll explain. My granddad told me at the time he wanted to invent the stainless wood, and so the other drunk cuts him off. There's no bloody damn stainless wood, you prick. Now keep on walking. I think we're nearly at the end of the road." Another beam of light appears down the road, and as the two drunk men approach, they come across a bearded man dressed in a white robe.
standing next to an escalator that extends all the way to the sky. He extends his arms wide and greets them. "Hello, my friends. I welcome you." The two drunk men stand there, dumbfounded at the sight of a man standing beside an escalator. One of them pipes up, "Who the fuck is this wanker?" The bearded man chuckles. "There isn't any need for me to question, my friend. I am here to guide you to heaven." The other drunk pipes back at him, "Heaven? What the hell do you mean by that, mate?" The bearded man crossed his arms and lowered his head to them and responds sadly, "Unfortunately, you two have died." The drunk men, now eyes widen, "We're dead?" They both sputtered. "Yes, you're both died." The bearded man replied, "You've both been ran over by the car that zoomed past here a moment ago." "Now hold on," one of them spout back. "We dodged that car. It nearly hit us, but we dodged that wanker." "Yeah, you're right. I'm feeling fine here." The bearded man points behind them, and as they turn, a light shines over two dead bodies on the road, looking as if they're nothing more than roadkill. As they turn back to... And that's it. Sorry, guys. That's just how it goes.
Well done, Jake. That was a cheery story.
Compared to my last when I was here,
Compared to Essendon season, it is too.
not the Essendon season, just my depressing poetry last time.
Yeah, but it was good. So, writing is an expression of self. Simone. So just note, Petra, you're one down now on Simone. You have 2 poems, Woke Me Up, Domestic Blue. Everyone please welcome Simone.
Hi, second time lucky. Just want to say that these are a little bit dark, okay, just to let you know, just give you a heads up. Okay, are you ready? Wake me up. Wake me up when my sentence is finished, when my confidence and dreams have all but diminished. You will suffocate me with your control and power. Nothing is sacred, mine is a head that will roll. The walls are graffitied with tears of pain, with screams of anguish and fear that can't be explained. Silence is a virtue that is very rarely heard. Your voice, thoughts and behaviours classed as absurd. Given multicoloured pills of different prescriptions for our abusive label, you can't smile, laugh, cry, complain or advocate. You have to remain in a coma that is stable. You try to disempower me, my intelligence, strength, rationales and wisdom, trying to squash my voice, my personality and spiritual kingdom. Who are you accountable to, you doctors full of textbook crimes? Not trauma-informed, person-centred, heartfelt or a compassionate ear of kindness chimes. You haven't won because my heart and soul still rhymes. I still have a choice to use my voice. Truth and good will prevail. It is amazing what you can do in a psychiatric jail. That piece of writing was actually published in Victorian Legal Aid's website. Yeah. Domestic Blue. You have left me breaking in two. No visible scars, but a soul black and blue. My terror comes through my body and nightmare. Your face, voice, memories, your presence and your stare. You have taken my home, my children, lifestyle and my ability to live. I have to rely on the generosity of others who give. Fears of a roof over my head and being able to put food in my mouth. My mind overwhelmed whether to turn north, east, west or south. Your deceitful lies, cunning games, control and cruel blame have left me fighting and crawling, thinking I'm going insane. How can one person crush the soul of another's weakness of love? Does it make you feel powerful with the emotional abusive glove? Beat me down to believe in no hope that I'm low in existence. For years I've tried to escape, that is where I must believe in my strength and persistence. For years I have tried to seek you help and save you. But through advice, I realise I must save myself, and this is true. I will conquer this desperate woman I have become. I will flourish, and that will be my justice, my life's sum. For you, I question your sanity and why you have to make another person weak. You don't know how to openly communicate, show emotions, and trouble to speak. You run from your demons and your past and issues. But for me, I'm seeking help, crying and relying on tissues. I wish I could wish you well, but you have caused me too much pain. And it is you that is the one that needs to be judged and go insane. Goodbye for good, I'm no longer your wife. I can now find freedom and a new life. Thank you.
Thank you, Simone. How'd you feel writing those? Because they're obviously very personal and vulnerable.
One when I was in a psychiatric ward, that was done in 2023.
You could still be in a psychiatric ward. We could all be a hallucination. You never know.
You just never know. And when I left my ex-husband was in 2018. So yeah. But over the years, I've done a lot of writing. From 2011 right through, that sort of thing.
You found it helps as a cathartic to
Yeah.
exercise all that?
Yeah.
Oh, good. And you're enjoying the reading now after being afraid last month.
I'm getting there.
You come across as natural. And no one drinks, really. Come on. I know how you think about. To my right is this, a little bit to my right, is this wheel which Kev has made, and it features all these improv prompts. And people coming in now are asked if they're interested in potentially being called up and improv. How long? 30, 40 minutes on one of the subjects?
At least 2 minutes.
At least 2 minutes. So obviously a lot of people are a bit worried about just ad-libbing. So we've only got 4 people. You don't have to put your hand up. Is there anyone who is not in here? Pick the blue. Who's the blue? So is anyone not in here who wants to be in here? Jeez, there's a lot of head shaking. Right. So I have this weird eye condition, which my eyes are actually getting better as I get older. Okay. Here is the winning ticket. Drum roll. And the winner is Vesna. It is yellow 4. Steve, come up.
Really, the hot seat now?
Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. Phone a friend. Make it stop where you want it. Yeah.
A pirate afraid of water.
Alright, so Steve,
Yes.
I'll give you, Hyun, can you do a minute? You got a minute thinking time.
No, I don't give him any thinking time.
Maybe something better, I think.
So you can do a story, a poem, a song, anything you want to do with it.
The first person narrative.
Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, please welcome Steve.
Aye, my Harry's pirate's life is tough. Always on the raging seas. But you know, the funny thing about most of us pirates, we don't know how to swim. That's why walking the plank is such a dangerous, such a scary thing. Now, people think, well, of course, you live on the sea. You should be part of the sea. I say, no, there's a lot of scary things in the sea. Apart from the sharks and the giant squids, there's that blue stuff, which they call water. And water and pirates, well, pirates like me don't mix. I touched the water once and felt like burning flesh. So I tried not to do it again. So from now on, I decided to move my piracy and gonna be a pirate in the desert. Where there's no water and just lots of clean sand. Unfortunately, there's fairly slim pickings in the desert and not many ships or ship-like things come past to raid, but nevertheless, I feel safer and I feel comfortable and I'm glad to be away from the water. Thank you.
Well done, Steve. How did that feel being up here? Can I ask you, I think everyone's curious, what was that accent? It was like an Irish pirate? You were I was like, you're channeling your novel.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just doing this. I did give I didn't, but you got a raffle ticket when you came in. Has everyone got a raffle ticket? Has anyone not got a raffle ticket? Kev hasn't got a raffle ticket. Oh, sorry, Steve, you get Maltesers, sorry. It's almost ironic. There you go. Jen got it.
Yes.
Just watch it. Anything on the floor is in the domain of Oscar. He will go around with all the interns and people who come in. If you put your bag on the floor, he will go through it if there's food, and he'll take it out. He's done it before. So, is anyone don't have a raffle ticket?
I've got two.
What have you got two? She's coming twice.
From last time.
So everyone would have got a raffle ticket if they paid to get in. Did anyone not get a raffle ticket? How about you, Sue? You didn't get a raffle ticket. Why? So for everyone, Sue is Kev's partner. So she's probably worried about favouritism, Broads.
Yeah, she got the hug and free intro.
Yeah. Anyway, and the winner is Sue. The winner is A54. Julia, you also get these chocolates. There you go. Thank you. Rig, someone called. The Eston supporter. Eugenia. Everyone, please welcome Eugenia. What are you going to read?
I'm going to read a poem about a very troubling experience I've had.
Everyone, please welcome Eugenia.
It's a very long poem. Is the bell ready? Okay. It's not that long. Okay. This is called The Gift. How so very exciting. On my doorstep, a home delivery. In a big Amazon box, the husband ordered just for me. Was it some useful gadget, or better still a book? It made a curious rattling sound when the box I shook. Was it a piece of jewellery or an expensive gift? It wasn't very heavy, it was easy enough to lift. I couldn't wait to open this box, sized 7 centimetres by 17. Surely it contained a wondrous thing, a sight worth being seen. Trembling in anticipation, I opened the box carefully. You're joking. In this great big box was one single button battery. It really had me fuming that in this current dire cost of living crisis that Amazon chooses to conduct its business in a manner such as this. The utter shameful wastefulness irked me to the core. Shed a tear. But if you think my tale is done, just wait a little more. The reason for this special gift may cause you all to wail. But it's something that you needed, the now ex-husband said. A battery for your bathroom scale. I leave you now to ponder. Does ex mean the husband no longer resides with me? Or
like Monty Python's ex-parrot, has the husband ceased to be.
How autobiographical is that?
I saw him yesterday.
You sure it was him? Did you talk to him?
I didn't see him this morning though.
Good point, Michelle. Michelle, I forgot to ask, is your launch open to everyone?
Yes, it is. I
So-
mentioned that before.
Yeah, sorry, I'm old now, I forget things. So, Mary, what date is it?
It's Anzac Day, the 25th, Saturday the 25th.
Yep.
At the Ivanhoe Uniting Church in Seddon Street. There is car parking at the back, and it's in the community centre at 2 p.m.
And do they need to RSVP or anything?
If you want to go, just let me know, just for numbers more than, it's just for more catering than anything else.
All right, cool.
Cheers.
All right. Thank you, Michelle. Simon, you have an excerpt for the love of an old man. This is like a theme happening tonight. Everyone, please, it's like a theme. For the love of an old man. It's the old man Eugenia's husband.
This old man's still going.
Thanks, everyone. This is part of a story I'm writing. It's going to be a novel. I've read other excerpts from this previously, but just as a bit of a background to where we're at with the two characters here, there's Jay, the protagonist, and his love, Lily. And Lily is the daughter of a well-to-do business lady. This is set in the future. This is approximately 120 years into the future. And her family is well-to-do. They run a biofuel company. And Jay comes from poorer stock. This is just a little scene involving the two of them. She looked away. Come on, I want to show you something. She scanned her card against a reader on the wall and a pair of doors slid open. She grabbed Jay's hand and led him into a small lounge bar with a pianist playing and a bartender cleaning. There were soft velvet-covered armchairs, several wooden tables, and the sweet smell of dessert wine. Lily pushed a button and led him across the room. Underfoot was a kind of pillow of air that made moving about more like moonwalking, and there was a burst of radiant heat overhead until Jay felt the first drops of perspiration. He then felt the blast of a fine watery mist, followed by a blizzard that sent his skin into shivers. As they reached the next door, a pleasant breeze sucked the moisture from his skin, and he felt exquisitely refreshed. The door opened, and Lily drew him into a space that was barely lit. A piano phrase rang out, and Jay turned to see that there was nothing behind him. Weird, he thought. They were in the middle of an enclosed glass sphere that was surrounded by some kind of hazy mist, and thousands upon thousands of pinprick candlelights gave the slightest hint of a flicker, like the sparkle of water droplets that reflected the sunlight as they soaked into the rich blackness of a well-tended garden bed. Most of the lights were whiter than regular candlelight, and they seemed far enough away that Jay could not make out the flames. He looked at Lily, and she was watching him closely with a glimmer of a smile. "What's that twinkle in your eye for?" he asked. "Do you know where we are?" "No." He looked all around at the lights again. They were above and all around and even down, although he couldn't see directly down through the floor. He took Lily toward the surface of the glass sphere, and looking up he noticed another separate whiter fog that stretched from one side right over the top to the other. They reached the glass, and he could see straight down. Jay fell to his knees. His mouth opened and tears welled in his eyes as he turned his head back to something he wondered if he'd ever see, the stars. All the stories he'd heard, all the articles he'd read, could never prepare him for the beauty of the moment. The universe of long ago was laid out before him by light that had travelled for years, decades, centuries, and even millennia to touch his eyes and fill his soul with a wondrous joy. I know, said Lily as tears beaded on her cheeks. That's exactly how I felt when I first saw it. Photons ended their journey in their eyes. I have no words, said Jay. There are no words, said Lily. Nothing could adequately describe something this beautiful. He looked down again. Billboards flashed. Gifts danced. Streetlights blinked. How could light be so offensive, he thought. Then he looked up. When it can do this, he thought. Jay searched for the horizon. The boundary between the twinkle of the scattered street lamps throughout the city and the comforting lights of the cosmos were blurred by the dirty air that surrounded them. I'll leave it there.
Thank you, Simon. I'm going to actually mention, because that made me think, there's a event called 37 South, and you pitch whatever property you have, whether it's a script or a story or a biography, whatever the case it is, and if they choose you, they then set up 8 meetings with directors, producers, and you get to pitch your property. Now, there's no guarantee anything will ever come of this. Some of the people there are quite big, and some of them are just starting out. But it's a worthwhile endeavour if you can afford it. It's about $250 if they do select you. It is a legitimate event. It's not a scam or anything like that, and you could get some good contacts. So yeah, if you're writing a story, it doesn't actually have to be finished either. So if anyone's interested in that, just give me a shout after this, and I'll tell you more about it. Richard, where are you? There. Oh, it's usually a spot anyway. You are going to read poetry. Everyone please welcome Richard.
Thank you, Les. I think there are only really a couple of reasons for people getting up here on a Wednesday night. One is to have the experience of talking to a group of people, and the other is whatever it was that I was thinking about. Look, I'll read you a couple of poems, and seeing the bellmaster will ding me. The first one is very short. It's called Where We Live. And I'll put my glasses on and then I'll know where it is. Where we live. There are 2 time states, the past and the future, which fit together perfectly. Between them, in a place which does not exist, is the present. This is where we live. Now, some of you who are regulars will have heard this before, because I've read it before, and I haven't written anything lately, so we'll just have to put up with one from the past. It's called Without You. Without you, this room is just a room. These walls are only walls. Without you, this day is just another day, and I care not about it, and notice not if it be fine, or clear, or dull, or if it really be a day at all. Without you, I remain in limbo, thinking not, nor doing, and without ambition save to see your face. Without you, I am just a shell, dormant and awaiting to be brought to life by your mere presence, to be enraptured by your smile, your touch, your spoken word, to feel the surge of life within my veins, brought there by your existence and the knowledge unbelievable that you are really mine and that you care. These walls become a haven, and this room the world, and I have no desire but to be alone with you, alone or in a crowd, for just to be with you together is alone. To love you and to feel the bond of warmth, intangible but there, invisible and yet as real as we ourselves, a bond of warmth and peace and confidence, serenity, which, though unseen, could not be hid from any who observed it. And I care not who knows, I want the world to know, and be a brighter, warmer place for having known our happiness, and if it brings some joy to those who walk the world without love, mere observers, that can but add more lustre to the joy of knowing that we have what they have not, and being thankful that it came to me and you. Why we should be chosen one, the chosen ones, one I do not know. All that I know is that we are, and that we have each other, and that all else matters not. Before you came, the world was here, and I was here, and I was, in my way, content. But now it seems unreal to think that in those days, before you, I imagined that I knew of life. My life began with you. My life revolves around you and exists because of you. Without you, this room is just a room. These walls are only walls. This world is emptiness without you.
Thanks, Richard. That was beautiful and beautifully read. I think that resonated with a lot of people. Crystal. Guess who I'm calling up? Crystal Hurdy is our poetry editor, and I don't know how much I can say. She's rocking it at the moment. She was chosen for a prestigious Varuna Fellowship. So for people who don't know, Varuna is probably the most prestigious writing house in the country. When they hand out fellowships, it really matters. I don't know, I can't remember which one you said we can mention and we can't mention.
Feature poet on Daily Rattle today.
Feature poet on Daily Rattle, which is an American
publication, and I can't name the prize, but...
The Trump Prize?
Yeah, the Trump Prize. Shortlist for another prize that'll come out at the end of this week.
All right, cool. So congratulations, Crystal. You're killing it. And apparently you have a collection coming out also.
I do.
Oh, a reprint. Oh, it's the first I've heard of that. Everyone please welcome Crystal.
Last year I kind of came out of my house for the first time in 10 years. I'm agoraphobic. I got sick and I stayed inside for a really long time. Last year I challenged myself to do a scary thing every week, get out of my house for at least 20 minutes a day and talk to a stranger every day. So then at the start of this year, my big year was over and I was kind of thinking a lot like, what happens now? So here's my What Happens Now poem. It's called Defined Resolution. The room, not an agreement, not an argument, silent space between Christmas and the New Year, where days slide into each other. Cream-fenced gates at a mineral-bricked house on a dull, shaded street, a place childhood dreaming oversold. The hinge still sighs when I lean weight against it. A calendar pinned, thumbtack halo, promising defined resolution in block letters I never quite learnt to trust. Listless mornings taste of reheated coffee and the echo of someone else's life on low volume. Intention idles, refusing false arrival. What hasn't happened, seizing like loose change that refuses to slot. Time isn't cruel, just inattentive. Light pools where it wants, on the carpet, across your face, reflective in the tinsel of a now purposeless tree. And in that pause, the unmopped floor, dishes stacked in the sink, Kentia palm drooping brown in heat, I feel it all. the malleable defiance of being unfinished, still breathing, still deciding what it is I want to call direction. Thank you. Maybe something a little bit more positive. This is called What the Mosquitoes Took. It's disgusting, it's a love poem. You're covered in mosquito bites. Skin a mantle of ornamented braille, each welt a raised syllable speaking your body back to itself. I explain, only female mosquitoes bite. A small fact, a constraint on creation versus cruelty. I mark cavalry across the bite with my fingernails, a mechanism of distraction taught to me by a friend one night by a stagnant pool of rain and dirt. It's strange, the things we learn to do to bodies we love, how harm becomes a language of mitigation. The cross fades, the itch remains, resurrection delayed, your body insisting on its own testimony. I envy what has touched your skin and stayed, what took the nectar of you. I envy what is left behind, the small uncomfortable evidence that something took you in.
It's actually interesting that we did the same thing. Mine did turn into a string of murders, so I thought it wasn't healthy ultimately, well, for them. Next open mic night is the 20th of next month, so this one was a little bit of an early one, mid-month. We don't have to leave straight away. You can sit back and chat, have some treats, feed Oscar. Please don't give him anything to drink. He does have a drinking problem. He's got a history of it. I'm going to call you up in a minute after we turn off the camera. Just before I turn off the camera, or we have the camera turned off, does anyone have any announcements to make? You're on hot seat. When did this happen? You were on hot seat last night, young man. So who are you taking to Ireland with you?
Family.
Someone's got a hatchet behind you. Anyone else have any announcements to make? No one, really. That's a quiet crowd. Was anyone we missed out in reading outside of one young man that back there? No. Kev, I guess we turn the cameras off. Are they off?